You were never taught this. You were taught to speak up, to express yourself, to defend your name, to react. But the most powerful men in history did the opposite. They stayed silent. Because silence isn't weakness. It is pressure. It is presence. It is control. Think about the last time you spoke in anger. You didn't feel powerful after. You felt exposed. Now think about the last time you stayed silent while someone tried to provoke you. You felt dangerous. That is the difference. The Stoics understood something modern people have forgotten. The man who speaks less controls more. Marcus Aurelius didn't survive war, betrayal, and power struggles by talking more than his enemies. He survived by watching, by waiting, by mastering his inner voice. Silence was his armor. And today, you need this armor more than ever, because the world is louder than it has ever been. Everyone wants a reaction from you, your emotion, your attention, your weakness. And the more you give them, the weaker you become. Be honest. Have your words ever made a situation worse? Type yes if you felt that. Let's break down the first phase of silent power. Stoic silent power number 1. You don't owe everyone a response. Weak minds think silence means losing. Strong minds know silence is selective energy. Not everyone deserves a reply. Not every insult deserves defense. Not every misunderstanding needs correction. Every time you respond emotionally, you hand your power to another person. The Stoics didn't waste words on those who couldn't think. Not because they were arrogant, but because they were disciplined. Stoic silent power number 2. Silence in conflict makes you untouchable. There is a moment in conflict where everything changes. It's the moment where they expect you to explode, to defend, to lose control. And you don't. You stay calm, you stay quiet, you stay still. Now they feel exposed. Silence in conflict doesn't make you weak, it makes you unpredictable. And nothing is more dangerous than a man people can't read. Stoic silent power number 3. When you stop explaining yourself, you become respected. Most people try to be understood by everyone. This is weakness disguised as honesty. You don't need to be understood by everyone. You need to be respected. The Stoic never chased validation. He moved in certainty. The less you explain, the more people assume depth. Stoic silent power number 4. Let them talk. That's how you see them. Silence isn't empty. It's observation. When you stay quiet, people show their truth, their insecurity, their ego, their fear, their jealousy, their manipulation. Words interrupt truth. Silence invites it. Stoic silent power number 5. Silence builds authority without noise. Leadership is loud. Chaos is loud. Weakness is loud. Fear is loud. Real authority is silent. The man who doesn't chase attention owns the room. If you're still here, don't leave now, because soon we're not just talking about silence in words. We're talking about silent habits that dominate minds. This is where most people fail. Stay with me. Silence isn't passive. It's pressure waiting to be released. And the world can feel that pressure, even when you don't say a word. If this part hit you, type power in silence. Say nothing out loud, but think about this. Who in your life controls you just because you react too much. Most people think silence is simply not talking. That's childish. Silence is not something you do with your mouth, it's something you build inside. Because the real noise isn't around you, it's inside you. Your impulses, your urges to react, your need to be understood, your fear of being overlooked. The Stoics didn't just stay silent around others, they cultivated inner silence. And that's what made them terrifying. They weren't ruled by moods. They weren't dragged by opinions. They weren't shaken by pressure. They stood still while the world shook. Be honest with yourself. How often has your mouth moved faster than your mind? Type me if you've felt that before. Now let's go deeper. Stoic silent power number 6. Emotional silence is stronger than verbal silence. Anyone can stop talking. Few can stop reacting. You can be quiet and still be furious inside. You can be quiet and still feel attacked. You can be quiet and still be weak internally. The Stoics trained themselves to go silent emotionally. When insulted, they paused inwardly. When disrespected, they withheld judgment. When provoked, they removed ego. They didn't just swallow pain, they transformed it. That's power. Stoic silent power number 7. Don't perform, be observed. Weak minds perform for attention. They adjust their tone, their body language, their opinions, all for approval. Strong minds don't perform. They let others adjust to them. Silence creates gravity. When you don't beg to be seen, people start to watch you. Think about this. Who is more powerful? The person trying to be heard, or the one everyone waits to speak? Stoic silent power number 8. Control the first 2 seconds. The first 2 seconds of any reaction determine your power. Someone insults you, someone challenges you, someone disrespects you. Your body reacts instantly. Heart rate rises, mind races, ego demands a response. But the Stoic trains one moment: the pause. That pause is power. That pause is control. That pause is where weak men lose and strong men rise. Type pause if you're training this discipline. Stoic silent power number 9. Stop seeking comfort through words. Most talking is emotional comfort. People complain, explain, defend, justify. Not because they need to, but because they're uncomfortable with silence. Weak minds fear stillness. Strong minds live there. Stoic silent power number 10. Your calm confuses weak minds. There's something powerful about emotional neutrality. When you don't get angry, people don't know how to handle you. When you don't defend, people feel exposed. When you don't react, people reveal fear. Calm is not passive. Calm is domination without movement. If you're still watching, this isn't random. You're not here by accident. Because we expose the final level, the stage where silence stops being defense and becomes intimidation. Stay focused. Most people react. They leak energy. They lose leverage. But the ones who master silence walk through chaos untouched. Do you feel calmer than you used to, or more reactive? Type calm or reactive in the comments. Silence isn't about being invisible. It's about becoming unmovable. And that is the foundation of real power.
There is a level of silence most people never reach. Not because it's hard, but because it's lonely. Because when you stop reacting, you stop explaining. You stop proving. You become different. and different is dangerous. Not to you, to them. The Stoics didn't want to be liked. They wanted to be free. Freedom doesn't come from saying everything. It comes from controlling everything inside. Be honest. Do you speak to be understood or to be respected? Type respect if you feel this shift happening. Silent people don't look powerful. They feel powerful. They don't enter rooms loudly. They don't chase attention. They don't perform dominance. They simply exist with gravity. And people feel it. You don't fear the loud man. You fear the calm one. Because the loud one shows his cards. The calm one keeps them hidden. How silence changes how people treat you. Here's what happens when you master silence. People stop challenging you casually. Your words gain weight. Your presence becomes heavy. Your reactions disappear. Your control becomes obvious. Words lose value when given freely. Silence turns words into weapons. The Stoic identity shift. This isn't about becoming cold. It's about becoming sovereign. A king does not argue. A warrior does not explain. A master does not react. You don't need to win verbal battles. You need to win internal ones. Why silence attracts respect. Silence signals confidence, discipline, self-control, awareness, depth. People trust what they can't manipulate, and silence makes you unmovable. The most dangerous man in the room. The most dangerous man doesn't interrupt. He listens. He watches. He waits. He doesn't waste energy. He doesn't chase chaos. He lets chaos expose itself. That man is feared. Most people will hear this. Very few will live it. Because silence is not comfortable. It exposes your thoughts, your impulses, your weaknesses. And most people can't sit with themselves. But those who can, rule. Comment one word. If you choose noise, type noise. If you choose control, type control. You don't need to talk more to become powerful. You need to become more precise. Subscribe if you're done leaking energy. Watch the next video if you're ready to master yourself.